Welcome back to the Fourth and the Mile podcast. I'm JD Zasa and this is Nicholas Elliot. This is the NFL episode. What week are we on right now? I don't remember on the top of my head. I believe we're on four.
Yeah, we're heading into week 4.
Dude, how are we already that part of the season? It felt like last week was week one, and now we're into week two. But now, really, we're in week four.
Yeah, crazy.
Ready to get started?
Let's head into some headlines.
How about you head do the headlines
Yeah,
because it affected your team a lot.
yeah, especially today.
Yeah, it affected the Saints very much so.
Let's head into some positives first for teams around the league. There's only 5 undefeated teams left in the league: the Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, Vikings, and Seahawks. A lot of teams in the AFC still left undefeated.
Few teams,
And
I think the NFC, if you would have told someone that these were the undefeated teams left, they'd go like,
yeah, I'm not really shocked about the Seahawks being undefeated considering they played like 3 teams that they probably should have beaten.
yeah, probably. But
The
Vikings,
Vikings, yeah. Sam Darnold's look good. Steelers with Justin Fields have looked good. Bills, Josh Allen's not throwing interceptions now. Chiefs just doing Chiefs things.
yeah.
Get into the injury news. Saints center Eric McCoy goes out on the first drive and is now out 6 to 8 weeks with a groin injury. And now today, I was looking at the practice injury report from Nick Underhill, and there was a lot of guys. There was like 7 or 8 guys on there for the Saints and like one offensive lineman for the Falcons. So Demario Davis didn't practice today. Kamara didn't practice today. Derek Carr has an injury, but he practiced today. So a lot of guys are hurt.
This week's injury report was mostly offensive linemen because
Yeah.
offensive tackle Trent Brown's done for the season. The Bengals are dealing with Marius Mims being out, and now Trent Brown, not good for the only winless team in the NFL. Frank Ragnow, partial torn pec. He's going to be week to week for the Lions. That's not great. And then Joe Alt has an MCL sprain. Not super serious, but he's going to miss some time. So that's going to hurt, especially this week against the Chiefs.
Yep.
In good, in better news, Sam Darnold got a knee bruise on Sunday against the Texans, but it came back positive, so he's going to be fine. That's great to hear because he's balling out. Bad news for fantasy owners like myself and others, and for 49ers fans, Christian McCaffrey, this might be a long-term thing because he's seeing a German doctor right now.
Well, it's also even worse for the Niners considering that they blew a big lead, which practically was a away game, but it was practically a home game
It was
against the Rams.
every game in
They would have
SoFi
choked.
is a 49ers game.
Yep. They would have choked that game away. It was kind of hard to watch. But let's head straight into the recaps of
What
week
game
three.
do we want to go in order or do we want to go by teams first?
Let's start with the Vikings beating the Texans pretty handily.
Are the Vikings good?
Yeah, I think they're good.
They have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Like Brian Flores, all the people thought after the Miami job he would never get a head coaching job. I think he's gonna be prime for a head coaching job soon. Maybe. I mean, we'll see.
And just keep winning. I mean, Sam Darnold's looked really good. Aaron Jones,
He's been a
and
godsend.
he's been good. I mean, he's always been good, but now he's the dog. He is the guy now. He doesn't have to share carries with another AJ Dillon or anything. It's
Yeah.
his
You got the
show.
gritty, you got the gritty man doing his
Yeah,
thing.
they got a really solid offense. I mean, it's not like Sam Darnold has to like carry this team. He can just stay in the pocket and just guys will get open. So he's and
Yeah.
Hawkinson, I think, is going to be coming back soon. So I mean, they're going to be looking good with Kevin O'Connell.
I mean, they've got a massive matchup this weekend, but who
Yeah,
would have thought? I mean, we all thought Lions Packers for the North, but it could be a three-team, maybe four-team race, even with that no McCarthy this year, which is absurd that they're going to get better.
yeah,
I mean, they got a great. I really liked O'Connell coming over from LA when he did. I predicted him to make Justin Jefferson Offensive Player of the Year. That won me my fantasy league that year. Yeah, good stuff for the Vikings. Texans, you're fine. I mean, it's one
yeah.
game. It's
Their
one.
defense looked horrible. They couldn't get off the field at all.
No
Stroud,
one's been able to
couple
stop
inter-
Minnesota.
Stroud threw, I think it was either one or two picks, and his offensive line was just getting destroyed by Vikings front seven.
Personally, I wouldn't worry about it if I'm
Yeah.
Houston. Clean up the
Stephon Diggs had a good game.
clean up some things, and honestly, if a loss had to happen, it couldn't have happened for a better week because everyone in the AFC South lost.
What also helped it was to an NFC team, so it really didn't really affect much.
Very true. You want to head into the next game, which is let's go with Chiefs escaping Atlanta.
Yeah, this was a really good game. Falcons took the punch first. Chiefs punched right back per usual, and Falcons had a really strong running game until their offensive lineman went out, and then they defense defensive line for the Chiefs really were just dominant from there. Nick
People
Bolton,
complain about
huge
the
game.
people will complain about the refs, but the Falcons, like last week with the Bengals, had chances to win this game. They just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, it was a bad
That's
call.
it was a bad call, but I'm not gonna blame one bad call for the loss.
Yeah,
It's not like Atlanta was completely robbed. Like they had chances to win that
yeah.
game.
I mean, they would have been at
He's
the 1 yard line, but you're not
Mahomes,
gonna. It's not guaranteed to score.
Mahomes looks off so far, which I'm not really gonna put that in anything because we know what he is. Kelsey,
Off.
where's he been? Really, it's been a Rashee Rice carrying that offense. He's been awesome.
Yeah, Carson Steele had a pretty good game too, filling in
He
for.
did, and they activated Kareem Hunt today off practice squad, so he should be playing next this
Yeah,
week.
I still think that they'll give majority of the carries to Carson Steele as they should.
Yeah,
I think another thing that we can say with Kelsey not playing good is around the league, tight ends as a whole are not really like being productive. Don't you agree?
yeah. I mean, think of the big three tight ends. Think of the top five tight ends in the league. Kelsey, not doing good. Kittle, he was great, but then now he's injured. Andrews,
John,
he been. Laporta got hurt.
that was a weird situation because they
Laporta
got
got
hurt.
hurt, and plus he hasn't been playing amazing.
Yeah,
And then the fifth guy is Hockett Sox, Hawkinson. He
yeah,
been injured. So weird year for tight ends. And just a weird year for offense so far.
yeah. Defenses are a little bit ahead of
And I
offensive.
like it. And I like it, to be honest. I like seeing defense win sometimes.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is starting to get. I mean, he's starting to get more comfortable
This isn't
playing
a bad
offense.
Atlanta team. Like their record is 1-2, but this is not a bad Atlanta team.
Their defense has like a lot of good names, and they played really good.
Again, Falcons, like I still think they're especially how the NFC's looked, I still think they're a like wild card division. I mean, we don't know what the South's going to be, but right now they still look like a wild card team to me.
I think the only thing that really gives me like questions about the Falcons is really Raheem Morris as a whole, because he's made some questionable he had like a questionable challenge early. It cost him a timeout, and then just like kind of like management late was not really good. So
He's a young coach.
yeah,
We'll see. Do you want to let's talk about this one briefly? Commanders, Bengals. What great game Monday night.
yeah, that was a great game between the two LSU Heisman winning quarterbacks. I mean, you kind of expected an offensive battle, but Jaden Daniels efficient,
He
and
made one of the best plays of the week in
yeah,
getting smacked, but throwing a laser beam to Terry McLaurin, who was his favorite receiver all night. Bengals, what's going on, man? You're the one. Who would have thought that the last winless team would be the Bengals?
who would have said the Panthers? But
Who has said the Panthers to have a win before the Bengals? Huh?
nobody. That I'm still. I mean, they can get out of this, but it's you've dug
Yeah, but
yourself
this is
like
a
a
must
10 foot
win.
hole.
This week is a must win for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
All
Who
right.
they have this weekend? They have
Who do they got this week? They got the
Panthers. Perfect
Oh,
segue.
perfect. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. They have to win that game. They could have 2 wins in a row against teams that they probably should have beaten. But I mean, Jaden Daniels was the better quarterback that night, more efficient. I mean, Joe Burrow didn't play bad. Jamar Chase finally got going. He had 2 touchdowns, but
Raiders
like,
look solid, man. They're on top of the East. They're on top of
yeah,
the East.
they
All
have. I
right.
mean,
Yeah.
they got secondary problems, but they have good front
Yeah.
seven.
I mean, teams like there are going to be teams that can dissect them, but for now, good job, Commanders. Like they haven't been good in years, so it's like good for you. All
Yeah.
right, we've delayed it long enough. So now it's time for it.
Or wait, we can delay it one more time.
No, we're
Talk about
not.
the winless
No,
Jaguars.
no, no. I'll say this right now. Josh Allen is MVP. I called
Yeah.
it. He's fire god. Jaguars. Yes.
Yeah, they're trash. Trevor Lawrence is terrible after the signing that new deal.
Who would have thought they'd be a number one overall pick? Maybe. Like Peterson probably could be. It's going to be the first guy gone. He'll probably be the
Yeah.
first guy gone. All right, now it's time. Now it's time. All right.
I'll go first.
Really, really, you want to go first? I'll go
Yeah.
first.
It was quite the ugly show in New Orleans.
It
Eagles
was.
edging out the Saints late with a big touchdown late and an interception late. But I mean, I'm not really like disappointed. It was just more so kind of like old Saints get you hope big and then just let you down late. But defense played amazing as a whole. They made Jalen Hurts look like bad most of the game.
This guy was running for his life the entire time.
Yeah. Then you have freaking Nick Sirianni. I mean, he's probably like gasping. He just like after that game because Eagles fans would have been up his neck if
They
they would have
would.
lost the game.
They're gonna fire him. Like, if they don't make the Super Bowl, he's gone. Like, he's legitimately gone. Like, that's how bad it's gone. Do
His
you know what?
decisions are so
Do you know
bad.
what the Eagles have been this year so far since with Sirianni, and really since their collapse last year? It's like the meme where it's like, oh boy, I can't wait to watch my team win. I can't wait to watch my team. And it's like throughout most of the line is I want to not watch my team anymore. And that's being nice. And then at the end he goes, oh nice, we won. That was the
Yeah.
Philadelphia that's been the Philadelphia Eagles under Nick Sirianni.
I
That
mean,
meme
they're
right
good though. I mean, they have an elite roster, but it's like his fourth quarter decisions are just
there.
terrible.
Decisions are terrible. I mean, he's very lucky he has got Jalen Carter and he played one of the best games I've ever seen from a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
He carved up the Saints. In my take, again, I'm not really worried about the Saints as much as I am for the Eagles. I'm more worried about the Eagles than the Saints because the Saints, I had no expectations coming in. Could they have won the game? Yes. But am I mad? No. I mean, what this proves is that Saints are not going to score 90 points in over 2 games. They just need to be 28, 20, 28.
I mean, that's what the
got-
scores have been most of
They've
the
got
game.
one of the best defenses in the league. That's all I needed to see. They had a sloppy game. They just need to make sure the interior offensive line is okay. Like,
Yeah.
could have been worse? Yes. They could have gotten blown out by Philadelphia. I'm more worried about the Eagles. They
Another take I
bad.
have, I mean, Olave
This,
had a good game, so that's good to see.
but he's out. He's out now. He's concussion. They're not going to have him for next week.
Who was that?
Devontae Smith.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're not going to have him or
Oh,
AJ
that was
Brown.
a dirty hit.
It was, but it's football. I'm
Yeah.
worried about the Eagles offense. Like, what's going on, man? Like, this is how bad it is. Like, Hurts looks shaken. And I don't think
Well,
it's his fault. I think it's like, I cannot believe how uncreative the offense is. Because when Kellen Moore was at Dallas, you saw so much creativity. There's no creativity in Philadelphia. It's
yeah.
literally give it to Saquon and pray.
Well, it's not even that. He had 5 carries in the first half. And then they finally realized, well, we can't move the ball right now. We can't score. Well, then we give it to him, and then he breaks out a big run and
But
scores.
I don't know how much power Kellen Moore has with Sirianni being the
Yeah.
me the main guy.
How do you pay that much money for Saquon and you're not giving it to him 20 times a game? Is
Well,
beyond me.
here's the thing. They already love him because he's the only reason they beat New Orleans.
But
So
he's the reason they lost last game.
Eagles,
It was their
they look
defense.
like last year's team where it's like their record looks good, but there's something off about this team.
Yeah.
The good news for Philadelphia, it's early. The bad news is we've seen this before.
Yep. I'm not too worried about the Saints. More so just worried about the offensive line now. If it's gonna not, I mean, Derek Carr didn't play the worst. I mean, he had that one bad throw, but I mean, he had no time to throw anyways. But the scoring drive they had was good. Chris Olave feasted that drive. He had a good game. They couldn't
Olave's
really guard him.
Olave's one of the most underrated players, and it's because he plays in New Orleans. Like he's just as good as Garrett Wilson. They're both like on the same level.
I mean, he catches everything. He's about as like consistent as they come.
Yeah.
But I
He's
mean,
in my
that's
opinion, he and Devontae Smith are the two most underrated players in the NFL, in my opinion. He gets
coming
no
off the
love.
loss. I'm very interested to see how the Saints play because they'll be going into Atlanta, then have the Chiefs coming up. So I'll be kind of
That's gonna be a fun matchup, and we'll get to that later in the show.
yeah,
All right, my
the
turn.
dreaded. You're dreaded. I'll give my thoughts first, and then you give your takeaways.
Go for it.
Ravens. I mean, they dominated. It was like you guys couldn't really do anything. It was kind of like the same how it's been the first 3 weeks. You couldn't stop anybody, and then late heroics. You all had just couldn't get out on like good start offensively, and it really just kind of drained you guys. And then they finally got going, but it was just too late. And then Derrick Henry had a big game, kind of just shoving it up Jerry Jones, saying, "Oh, you had me right in your back pockets, but you didn't pay me."
All right, here we go.
But here's my takeaway. Cowboys need a must-win game this tomorrow.
Ugh. All right, here we go. Okay, Dallas. My first takeaway. You paid Zeke Elliott and Dalvin Cook, and you could have had Derrick Henry. They cannot run the ball. Dallas cannot run the ball. So they're putting the entire offense on two players, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. But when you double team CeeDee Lamb with Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey, where's the offense? Nowhere.
Until garbage time.
It is a one-dimensional offense, and it's all Jerry Jones' fault for that. Because you could have had Derrick Henry. And maybe Derrick Henry wouldn't have been as good as a Cowboy, but he would have gotten you at least 5 yards of carry. He would have gotten you into easy drives where the defense has to bring down the box, so that opens up CeeDee Lamb, that opens up Tolbert, that opens up everyone. Cooks. That's why you get Derrick Henry. It's not because he's going to be your offense. It's to help. So Baltimore, thank you for using Derrick Henry. Right, he is a monster. He's one of my favorite players ever to come from Alabama. He's a freak of nature.
That
And
was a big
it
game to
was,
win.
and I was laughing my ass off the entire time because I'm like, I told you, I told you.
Yeah. Ravens needed this game bad
Oh
because they
boy.
could not
Oh,
be
wait,
0
wait, wait,
3.
wait. I got two more takes. Number two, you really thought Mike Zimmer was the problem in Minnesota?
That
Yeah,
was disagree with you.
yeah. The defense is fucking awful. And I'm trying to be like PG here, but there's no other word to describe it. It's beyond garbage. It's one of the worst defenses like in the league. And this is why I miss Dan Quinn. And I don't even think Dan Quinn could help with this because they have no interior defensive line. They have none. They could have had some guys, but no. And thank you, Jerry Jones, for telling us that this is the all-in push.
All
My
in push for two positions.
my third my third take is this was the most Dallas Cowboys way to lose. you get your you get blown out. But then you give them hope, and then right up the you know what. A punch right up the you know what. And that's how you lose. Also, since the since the Packers game, they haven't won at home. Like, when was the last home game they won? In the regular season of last year.
Probably
And
the
each
Eagles.
time
The Eagles.
they've gotten blown in every single home game. We used to be undefeated at home. And my final take, this is the final thing. If you think this is going to get better, think again. Because this is 9-8. This is 9-8, 8-9, at most 10-7. This is a bad football team. We are not going to be good this year. I am praying for Luther Burden or I want a top 10 draft pick. Thank you, Jerry Jones. I hate you. Give up the GM position. All Cowboys fans deserve better. We deserve better than this. Or maybe we don't because we're shitty fans. I mean, I don't really care. Doubt the Cowboys are a laughing stock and it's their own making. That's it.
This was a big win for the Ravens. If they would have gone, they would have done the same hole as the Bengals going
But
0
the
3,
Ravens,
same
but the
division.
Ravens I have issues with as well. How the
Yeah.
heck did you let the Dallas Cowboys almost win that game?
They've been blowing leads. I mean, they blew a lead to the Raiders the previous week. And
It's a
then,
coach. I think it's a coaching problem.
yeah.
Harbaugh can't. What I cannot believe they almost won that game because thank God for Zay Flowers because if Trayvon Diggs knocks that out, Dallas gets the ball.
Yeah, and they probably win the
Dallas
game.
gets the ball and they probably win that game. A
I mean,
game.
at worst, you tie. At worst, you go to overtime because Aubrey wouldn't have missed.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Brandon Aubrey's our best player, and McCarthy, your job. I could see him get fired mid-season. Heck, if they lose to the Giants, I could see him get axed by this week. If they lose,
I don't see them losing to the Giants.
we'll see.
Well, we can head straight into that game
Yeah, I mean we're heading out of week 4 preview. That's tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Or
on Amazon Prime.
when you guys are listening to this, tonight's game, Thursday night football. Cowboys Giants. I have no idea what to think. I think Dallas will win this game because I think the Giants are that bad, but I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Dexter Lawrence, if we cannot run the ball, it will be the same issues, but I think we're going to out-talent them. And then now all the Cowboys fans are going to think Super Bowl, even though you beat the New York Giants. They're literally just Malik neighbors.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
highlight
Dexter
Malik
Lawrence.
Neighbors. Malik Neighbors has been having a. He had 2 touchdowns last week.
He's rookie of the year.
He torched a good Browns secondary.
He was my favorite receiver coming out of the draft. I liked him more than Harrison.
I mean, Harrison's been good, but he doesn't get the
Harrison's
ball.
been great, but Malik Neighbors, I don't I don't doubt LSU receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, me too. Uh, I don't know what to think about the Giants. Daniel Jones, he doesn't look bad, but he's just throwing to Malik Neighbors. So I guess Malik Neighbors will just make everybody look good.
It'll be
But
Malik Neighbors against Trayvon Diggs, so we'll see.
yeah, that's a matchup.
LSU
Dallas
versus
is
Alabama.
bad. Hopefully, it's not 2019 version of Diggs.
I think the thing is, what's the Giants' offensive line going to be like against Dallas? Are they going to be able to run the ball like every other team? I don't
Well, they
know.
got Singletary.
Singletary's solid, and
Yeah,
they could run the ball, but I think Dallas wins, but it won't look good. I could see it be tight and ugly, and all Cowboys fans are going,
I mean, don't you think it's a bit alarming when your leading receiver for the game last week? Especially, you'd think that the Ravens would just give up big plays to receivers, but no, it was actually Jake Ferguson who led the team in
yeah,
receiving
I
last.
know. Yeah, I know. Dallas is a dumpster fire of a roster.
Shouldn't that send an alarm to Jerry Jones to go get
Yeah,
him the receiver?
Dallas is a dumpster fire of a roster. They don't
Yeah.
have talent. They don't have talent. They got worse this offseason because they let everyone go to free
I
agency.
mean, you have John Mechie trying to shop trades
The
and
real the real the real thing was if they really wanted to be Super Bowl contenders, they should have done it the last 3 years because they won 12 and 12 and 12 wins. Nothing. And this is the
Yeah.
consequences of going all in. Talent leaves.
Yep.
And Jerry thinks he's so great. He doesn't use free agency because he wants his guys to win hoist Lombardi one day. You're not gonna hoist Lombardi one day if it just use your guys. You gotta use free agency. You gotta use other things. In conclusion, Dallas will win. Believe Dallas will win this week, but it will look ugly. And but if they lose, I can see McCarthy get fired.
All Thursday night games are ugly. You never get any instant classics on Thursday night.
Honestly.
But let's head into the Saints taking on Atlanta at noon. This is going to be an interesting matchup. See
This is
who's
a
healthy for the
great
Saints. We'll
game.
see.
This is a great game.
I need the offensive line. I need guys to step up. Trevor Penning needs to block.
I'll
Needs
be
to hold
sitting back.
Derek
I'll be
Carr.
sitting back and watching because I'll be just sitting back and watching because honestly, I have more fun watching the NFL when I don't have a team.
Yeah.
Or
Then
or I root for my other team, the Bucks. I'll be wearing my Bucks jersey on Sunday.
well, they got owned by Sean Payton and Bo Nix.
They did. They did, but they got more hope than Dallas does.
That's true.
They look better than Dallas did.
Yeah.
But
I think
Falcons Saints.
yeah. I think the big key to
Um,
the game is just holding up the offensive line needs to hold up against
if
their
Bijan,
defensive line.
the key stat of the game will be rushing yards. If Bijan has a good day, Atlanta wins.
Yeah. The Saints have kind of had a they've been meh
Saints,
against the
Saints,
run.
same thing. You got to run the ball.
Yeah.
None of the play
Taysom
act,
Hill back.
none of Kubiak's system works if you don't run the ball. You can't run
You
the
also
ball.
can't help if you can't pass block.
Yeah. Quarterback wise, I think they're even. They're right on the same level. Cousins and Carr. I think they're on the same level, in my opinion.
Yeah. I just want to see how bad the injury
Receiver
is.
wise, weapons wise, Atlanta. Weapons wise, Atlanta wins.
They got more. That's why. When we have two receivers we use.
Defense wise,
Probably even.
Saints line Falcons win secondary, Saints win linebacker, defensive line, they're pretty even. Two,
Kicker. Special
they're like
team.
they're like even. These two teams are even to me.
Yeah.
Like
Just
they're just
Falcons are more
they're
healthy.
just in one uses goal, one lives in New Orleans, Louisiana, one lives in Georgia.
Well, I think the difference will be the crowd. I think the Saints fans will probably take over that place because it seemed
I
like
do too.
Sunday that Chiefs fans took over that place. Atlanta just doesn't really. It's just like a city that has a ton of other fans right now. It's like a
Yeah, but again, Falcons Saints is such a they do not like each other.
nope.
They don't like each other, but Falcons fans will show up. But we'll see.
I think a big key. My key is to be blocking. If we can block, then we can set up the play action. And then I think the other would be just containing Bijan,
Yeah,
make plays. And I just want to see if health wise we can get healthy. If Demario Davis plays, that'd be huge. But if he doesn't, then we have Willie Gay from the Chiefs. So I mean, he's a good linebacker.
yeah. So
And but it'll be a good game. It's all
it
they're
will be
always good
really
games.
Falcons Saints are always entertaining at
Yeah.
worst. Let's head into the next game. Another noon game. Vikings and the Packers. Do we know if Love's playing?
Uh I'm not sure, but I think he probably a game time decision because he's been out the past couple weeks.
So if Love plays, what's the key matchup of the game?
Uh well, quarterback play. I mean, Malik Willis actually looked pretty good against the Titans. They opened up the playbook more for him, good more
But this is a
passing.
different animal. This is a different
Yeah.
animal. This is one of the best defenses in
If
the
they
league.
have Jordan Love, I'll feel a lot more comfortable about the Packers, but I really like how the Vikings look.
As of Wednesday night, he's still questionable.
If we're going off questionable right now, I think I would lean Vikings just better quarterback play right now.
Uh,
I don't know though. I don't know
this is tough. Like
if
Lambo,
it's Lambeau.
it's in Lambeau, but the
Yeah.
Vikings have good defense. The Packers have good weapons, but the Vikings also have good weapons. And these two always split. They always split. It feels like they always split. Like, uh, we'll get into predictions later, but man, like this game's tough. Like, who do I think's better, Josh Jacobs or Aaron Jones? Who do I think's better, the offensive line or the defensive line?
It's the same as the Falcons game. It's like pretty even right now.
What do I
I mean, if
choose?
they had Jordan
Best
Love, I would be.
best receiver in the league, or do I choose depth at receivers like the Packers have? Do I choose another divisional game? It's like
This would be a good
these
game.
are unpredictable. Vikings Packers teams are unpredictable.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be an interesting game. We'll see if Jordan Love returns. But here's another interesting game that is big importance for this game. Let's move on to the Bills and Ravens. I mean,
Sunday night football.
yeah,
Sunday night football is cooking this year.
yeah.
Sunday night and Monday night football are cooking this year so far.
This game is at Ravens. This is a big game for the Ravens. I mean,
Huge for the
just
Ravens.
like last week, you had the Cowboys and I had the Ravens. Do you either want to be what? They'll be
This
two
game,
and two,
this team can stop the run. So
but the Bills have can do more than just a run.
this game's gonna be interesting because on paper, I like the Ravens.
Yeah, me too.
I like the Ravens way more on paper, but that's why we played the games. And right now,
Bills.
even though it's in even though it's in Baltimore, there's one guy on Buffalo's side that is playing better than any other player right now in the league, and that cancels out home field advantage for me. That guy wears number 17, and he's the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and he's a freak of nature.
I
Josh
think. Yep.
freaking Allen. And their defense has been playing good. Von Miller has been
Yeah.
awesome. Greg Russo's been really good.
DeMar Hamlin, shout out, got a pick.
Mark Hamlin, he had a pick. I mean, they did play the Jaguars. Okay, let's hold off. They did play the Jaguars, and as we both said, the Jaguars are trash. This is a different animal. Who do you think's the better coach? It's two teams that are like brothers, where it's like we can't. We both hate the Chiefs because they stole
Yeah.
something from us.
If we're going off like defensive game plan, they don't have. I mean, the Bills really don't have any receivers to double team or anything. I mean, they'll probably like try and put like two or three guys around Kincaid. But I mean, Shakir's look good.
You can't really do that for the Ravens because you got Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir. They're
Yeah,
deep.
Shakir's look good.
They're deep. Buffalo's deep at receiver, and then you also have Mr. Josh Allen running the ball, and then you got James Cook from
James
Georgia,
Cook look good.
who's awesome. So great game. In my opinion,
Yeah, this is the game of the week.
this is my game of the week. There's one other game that people might consider game of the week. There's one other game I think that could be a contender for game of the week, but I think it's this one because it's two of the teams that I like the most in the AFC. Like I want both these teams to beat Kansas City. I think these are the two teams that can beat Kansas City.
Yeah,
If anyone can beat Kansas City in the AFC, I think it's one of these two.
for sure.
I just think they're built to beat the Chiefs. But right now they're not playing the Chiefs. They're playing each other, which is going to be an awesome game.
I'm interested to see just how this game plays out because the Bills defense they gave up a ton when they played the Dolphins. They gave up a lot of rushing yards to A-Chain.
Yeah.
So they might attack the Bills with Derrick Henry.
I would start Derrick Henry in fantasy. I
Yeah,
would. I'd also start James Cook.
I have Lamar, so maybe Lamar will get going rushing the.
I got the king. I got the king. He scored
Yeah,
one third of my fantasy points when I lost.
I'm 3-0 right now.
Lucky you.
I've
My
dominated every
entire
single
team's been
game.
injured. I got Love. I have McCaffrey. I have Henry. I got Mike Evans. I got Devontae Smith. They've all missed
The
some
injury
time.
injury bug is biting me right now. I mean, just starting to hit me. I have Devontae Smith. I need to. Right now, he's questionable to play. Like fantasy has him listed as like projected to
I heard
play.
he's out, but we'll see.
Alrighty, let's head into a Monday night football. Dun, 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 dun.
Joe Buck and Aikman are headed to the Motor City
This will be
as
an
the
interesting game.
Detroit Lions take on the undefeated Seattle Seahawks. Whenever these two play, it's a great game.
Yeah,
Like always, these two, again, these two love playing against each other, and usually Seahawks come out on top, but it's in the Motor City. It's gonna be a tough one.
I really don't have a I would probably lean Lions on this one just because of the home field advantage. But the Seahawks are undefeated, but I really have not watched them much because they've been kind of playing like sucky teams, and they've been.
Here's what you need to know.
Geno's look decent.
Mike McDonald is one of the best defensive minds in football, and he's got a talented defense with Byron Murphy, Devin Witherspoon. Um, who's that guy? Who's that other cornerback that's really good? They got late.
Mm, I'm not sure.
Uh,
I'll look up their team real quick.
yeah. But pretty much, I think Seattle's really good. Detroit's really good. This game, I have no idea who's going to win, but if the Lions, this will be the Lions secondary's first real test. Do you know why I say that?
Why is that?
Because with Tampa Bay, they played Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. All right, solid. Seattle is 3D, has three elite receivers. They got DK Metcalf, they got Tyler Lockett, and then when you cover those two, they got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, according to Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave and that whole group, they say Njigba was the best of them all. You got three deep. And the Lions secondary has been an issue for years. So I think Geno Smith is going to be lighting the Lions up, even though I don't really want to see it. So on paper, I'd probably pick Seattle, but it's in Ford Field. And as I said, home field, it means something, especially in Detroit when they get loud there. They don't like losing at home.
I mean, and they've already lost at home once, so they probably want to make sure that doesn't happen second 2 times in a row. The Lions, they look solid. They look solid on offense again. They look good on offense again. I mean, Jameer Gibbs getting his touches. Montgomery's getting his
That's
touches.
not really a shocker to anyone.
No,
I think it's been the defense. I think I will say this. They do have the defensive player of the year. They would have my vote for defensive player of the year. Aiden Hutchinson is right now my defensive player of the year. Right now, if it ends today. But there's a ton of football left, but Aiden Hutchinson is on defensive player of the year watch.
did you see that one play they had to score with Jameer Gibbs where they ran like a slant with him on
Yeah.
route and he flipped it back? That was a
Yeah,
very
that
cool
was a
play.
great play. It's like probably pulled that out of Kansas City's playbook.
Yeah, that was
One
awesome.
that they had Tony. They called back a pass where Kelsey caught on like a little hitch round, then flipped it to someone else, but Kadarius Toney was offsides.
Yeah, that
From
was a
there,
great play. I'm not too sure about this game though. I'm still like
I mean,
I'm just like confused. These are tough games this week. I mean, not many like games that you'd think you'd have a read on, but these games are like a lot of coin flip games this week.
but let's head into the predictions. Let's head into predictions right now. So right now, last week we both went 50%,
We gotta be better.
7 for 14, baby. All right,
We get tougher with the coin flip games.
it is. Let's start it off with Thursday night football. Go down the line. Cowboys Giants. Who you got?
Cowboys bounce back.
I got the Cowboys and close, or it could be a blowout. I'll say blowout. Sure, I'll buy the Super Bowl hype for a week. Bengals Panthers at noon.
If Bengals don't win this game, they're in top 10 watch. They might as well get ready and start preparing for the draft.
I agree. Bengals.
Shout
Good.
out Andy Dalton.
I cannot believe He's going up against one of his former teams.
Yeah, he had a good game last week. Feel bad for Bryce Young, but
I do too. He's gonna get traded somewhere good like Miami. Miami needs to go trade for him right now. Save their season. That's what they need to do.
yeah, Miami
They
season's
won't.
over.
They won't. Uh, Saints Falcons. Man,
Saints. Hospital Saints. Let's go. This is a big game considering we're Alabama. I'm Alabama and Saints. It's a Georgia hate week, and this could either go very good or very bad. Hopefully, both of my teams win, and that'll be a very good. So Saints.
I don't love it, but I'm gonna ride with you. Who dat?
Let's go.
Who dat? Jags Texans. Texans.
Texans bounce back,
Huge. Texans.
and Jaguars will be on
They're already on top 10 watch.
coaching search duty.
Yeah, they'll probably fire Pearson. Broncos and Jets. They're a team that won last week. Bo Nix looked fine, but this is a different animal on defense. I got the Jets.
Yeah, I got the Jets.
So far we're 5 for 5. We both have five.
Yeah,
Next, here we might have split here. Vikings Packers in Lambeau.
just because of Lambeau, I'm probably gonna stick with the Packers and hopefully Jordan Love plays,
Gonna stick with the Packers.
and just hope that Jordan Love plays. I think they're gonna bring him. I think he's gonna try and play considering it's a divisional game.
I wanted to pick the Packers, but when you picked the Packers, I was like, I'm gonna go different.
Yeah, you need
I don't
you need
love
to
it.
extend your lead in the leaderboard.
Vikings. I don't like doing it, but sorry, Packers friends, because I like the Packers, but I just want to win. I just want to be different for a for podcast. Steelers Colts.
I've loved what I've seen out of the Steelers. The Steelers will continue to win. So is Russell Wilson gonna play? I mean, Justin Fields look good.
I don't think so.
We'll
Uh,
see. The Steelers just play good complementary football. And that's what you want to see. It's
yeah.
interesting for you. Aren't the Colts still winless, or did they win a game? They
No,
won
they,
against the Bears.
no, they won a game, but they look sloppy.
That was probably one of the worst games to
They're
watch.
the Steelers. They're the better coach team. They're the better coach team, and they're just more efficient. I can't trust AR.
Who's the better quarterback, Justin Fields or Anthony Richardson right now?
I'd probably still say Richardson. I'd probably still
Yeah.
say
That's a
Richardson.
close one though.
Next up, Rams Bears. It's in Chicago.
This is a disgusting game.
Disgusting.
I think the Bears are gonna win this because Rams are kind of on a high because they beat San Francisco. I think they're gonna kind of go back down to earth a little bit.
I'm gonna pick the Rams. I trust Stafford more than I do Caleb right now. Eagles Bucks. Okay. My Super Bowl pick against the team I roof the team my spirit team, the team I'd probably pick if I wasn't a Cowboys fan.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
You're gonna go with the Eagles? They get revenge.
Yeah, revenge. Yeah, I forget it's playoff revenge. Playoff revenge. Yeah. If I were
I'm
you, I'd probably pick Bucks here.
I'm gonna pick the Bucks. I like the Eagles so much, but I don't see. I
This is
think
like a bounce
I
back
think
game for
I
the
think
Bucks.
I think Mayfield's better. I think Mayfield's gonna make a play. I think Bolt is not gonna be stupid like Sirianni because something's gonna
Yeah.
happen. And
I mean, also the Bucks are coming off of a terrible loss. This is kind of like a big like bounce back game for them.
focused. Patriots Niners.
Niners, yeah.
Niners.
Yeah, they're gonna bounce back. They've looked like
They got
very like
either
mid right now. I mean, the injury bug's biting them a lot.
Commanders Cards.
Ooh, I'm gonna stick with the high hand at quarterback. Give me the Commanders.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I like
Yeah,
with the Cardinals. I like.
be kind of a good game to watch.
I'd start Harrison in fantasy. Definitely
Definitely.
start in fantasy. Chiefs Chargers. If Herbert was fully healthy, maybe.
Have,
But no.
did you see the thing with who's the DB? Was it Asante Samuel?
Yeah, Asante Samuel Jr., I think.
Yeah, he got suspended.
That sucks, man.
The thing is, like, he kept making continuous like tackles that I think the hip drop tackle he kept doing. I'm not too sure.
I wanted him to be a Cowboy at one time when he was coming out of the draft.
I mean, he's good. He's a good player.
Great player. I've got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs.
Browns Raiders in probably the most ugly game of the week.
Yeah, this is a terrible game.
I
I
got the,
saw the Raiders might bench, might start O'Connell.
I don't
Aiden
care. I got the Raiders. I got the
Give me the
Raiders.
Browns.
You got the Browns?
Yeah, the Browns. They got. I'm eliminated on my Survivor, everything Survivor, because the Browns and the Bengals.
Woof.
Sad way to go out.
Yeah. Titans Dolphins at Dolphins.
Another ugly game. Gosh, this is going to be two terrible quarterbacks going at it.
Uh, I got the Titans. I think Levis Whip can make plays, unlike Skylar Thompson. But
Who was it? Skylar Thompson will even play, and it'll be I forget who their backup was, who came in for Skylar Thompson.
well, while I look
Boyle.
while I look that up, you go ahead and
I
pick.
think it may have been Tim Boyle, but I am going to
Yeah,
take.
that sounds right, Tim Boyle.
I'm going to take the Dolphins. I don't like it at all, but
And now the game of the week.
wait. You know what's funny that I saw all the teams that are winless are all like Bengals coaches. Callahan, or no, Callahan. It was either they're all doing bad. Callahan, someone else, and then Zach Taylor.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, they're all like doing horrible.
So the
Or maybe
Bengals.
just two.
All right, game of the week. Potential game of the week. Seahawks Lions. I I'm gonna pick. I hate picking against the Lions, but I'm gonna pick the Seahawks.
Uh,
I think they pull out. I think they stay undefeated and win, but I do not like it at all. I don't like this at all. Like this could go either way for me.
Nobody's gonna be watching that Titans Dolphins game on Monday.
No,
Everybody's
everyone's
gonna be
gonna be
watching the
going.
Seahawks.
Let's see Seahawks Lions.
Yeah,
I want to
give me
watch Skylar
Lions.
Thompson versus Will Levis or Tim Boyle versus Will Levis. I want
You missed the game. We missed one game.
which game do we miss?
The best game of the week.
What did you pick? We'll get to
We
that later.
missed the Bills and
We'll
Ravens
get to it
game.
in a minute. We'll get to it in a minute. Who'd you pick? Seahawks or Lions? Seahawks or Lions?
Lions.
Lions.
Home field bounce
Now for
back.
the game I missed. Thank you, co-host Nicholas. Bills at Ravens.
This is
This
the one game we can't miss because it's
I
probably gonna have the most eyes on it.
could have missed Titans Dolphins. Could have missed Titans.
Yeah, we should have. We probably could have just skipped that one over.
Um, Bills Ravens.
Ravens. Ravens need it more. I think King Henry is gonna get in the end zone once or twice, at least once. He's gonna go on a Christian McCaffrey run where he's scoring every week.
Ravens are good, but also
Ravens are bad.
go.
They can't hold a lead.
Am I going to go against my MVP prediction for my love of Derrick Henry? For my it's like two of my favorite players in the league going against each other.
Yeah, this is tough. And it's not like it's like a clear like who's better than who. I mean, these teams are both even, pretty even. I mean, who would you give the lean to on defense? Would you say the Ravens are better on defense? But I mean, they've looked kind of bad the past 2 weeks.
I give it to the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, Bills,
At home field, but home field in Baltimore at night. Uh,
especially if they lose this game, they're 1-3. Like if they get back to 500, I mean, Bills are what? They would be 3-1 if they lost this game. They'd still be like, I mean, they'd have the Aaron Rodgers like
I
on
got
their next
I
play.
got fire god. I got the fire god. Give me Josh Allen and the Bills.
All right. This will be a good game though. I'm excited for this
I
week.
cannot
We
wait.
got two good slates. We got really good, pretty good college football slate and a really good NFL slate this week.
It's a really good NFL slate. I think college is kind of top heavy, to be truly
Yeah.
honest, this week. But we'll get better college football weeks. But this is a really good NFL week. This is my favorite. This is the biggest NFL week in my opinion.
Yeah.
Those games, big
I
games.
mean,
We're
besides
starting
the
to play
Thursday night,
division. We're starting to play division games, and division games are always fun and unpredictable.
at least we have good primetime games. I mean, you only really only need one good primetime game. At least we get two.
All right. I gotta hop off, and I'll get this up before the cow. I'll get this up before the Cowboy game.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Peace out,
thanks
guys. See you
everyone for
next week.
watching. We'll be back. We'll be back to talk about college football and hopefully Alabama won.
We'll see.
Have a good one. Bye.